Welcome to this 20-minute gentle yoga class. Today we're going to focus on our hip flexors and hamstrings. We'll begin by standing. This will be the only time in the whole 20 minutes that we're actually going to be in this standing posture. Otherwise, the rest of the practice will be in seated posture. And so what you'll need, I'm standing on a yoga mat, something comfortable. I also have a bolster, a blanket, blocks, and a strap. And you may not need any of those things, or you might need them all. And so just for a moment, just think about what you need and bring them to where you're at. So let's begin. And so I want you to find a nice comfortable position with your feet. Feet about hip distance width, and that simply means that your feet are under your knees are under your hips. And your torso is right over your hips, shoulders over hips, and head over shoulders. And take a moment just to gaze at yourself, look down at your feet, and just notice your stance, notice your posture. And once everything feels symmetry and in line, allow yourself to rock gently back and forth just a few times to find where your center is. And you'll notice that you're coming into the balls of your feet and into the heels of your feet. And then slowly start to bring that to a stop and just find in your center. Good. Allow your arms to just hang at your sides. Let your shoulders relax. And begin to close your eyes. And just begin to feel into your body, feel your breath, and even feel the space around you. And so what we're doing in this moment is simply becoming more aware. We're moving from the outer to the inner. And just notice the feel of your breath as you breathe through your nostrils, inhaling in and exhaling out. Just your natural, spontaneous breath. And just continue to breathe in that way, and then bring your hands to heart center. And as you bring your hands to heart center, separate your fingers nice and wide and let your elbows relax. If you can, continue to keep your eyes closed, staying with the breath, staying with your body, and staying with the present moment. In a couple of seconds, we'll begin to equalize the breaths. And so we'll count the in-breath and the out-breath to a count of 4. So as you take your next in-breath, begin to breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause, just a slight pause. Again, inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale 4, 3, 2, 1, with a slight pause at the end. And just continue that breath pattern, equalizing, aligning the breath. Inhaling for a count of 4 and exhaling for a count of 4. And as you breathe in this way, just notice how you begin to feel from within. Notice the calm, the peacefulness, the centeredness. Just allow yourself to be overtaken by that sensation. One more time. Breathing in for a count of 4. And exhale in for a count of 4. Yeah. And then come back to your natural breath. And before we begin the physical asana, I'd like for you to set a personal intention for yourself. Why are you here today? Good. And once you have that personal intention, let's just bow our head to the heart in gratitude. Good. And then as you take your next in-breath, we're going to inhale and lift those arms all the way up. Good. And as your arms extend, try not to bring your shoulders up to your ears. Just let those shoulders relax and keep grounded into your feet. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Just feeling the length through your body. Exhale, hands to heart center. 1 more time, sweeping up on the in-breath. Nice big breath in, and exhale all the way out. Good. This time we're going to fold, so inhale, arms up, and we're going to bend the knees here as we exhale and fold straight through the center. Let the head relax, let the belly relax. If you have tight hamstrings, bend your knees even more. If you need to open up your feet a little bit wider, do that. Good. Bring your hands to opposite elbows for a ragdoll and sink in a little deeper. You can sway side to side if that helps. And again, we're just noticing sensation in the body. No judgments, just observation, a gentle witnessing. And then come back to the center, release those hands. We're going to come up for a flat back. So slowly begin to slide your hands up your shins and just extend the crown of your head forward. This part of your head being the crown of your head. And then exhale, fold again. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, lift and lengthen to that halfway position. Shoulders back. And exhale and fold. And 1 more time. Deep in breath as you reach and extend your crown forward. And exhale, letting it all go. Let's come back to the top. So inhale, slowly rolling up like a rag doll. And sweeping your arms out nice and wide and bringing them up. And exhale, hands to heart center. So we're going to put that all together. So let's inhale, bring arms all the way up, and let your gaze follow to your fingers as well. Then exhale and bend your knees, fold through the center. Nice and slow and easy. Let the hands come all the way down. Let your head rest. On your next in-breath, lengthen up. Let your hands touch your shins and just extend forward. And exhale, release all the way down. As you inhale, rolling up like a rag doll through the spine. Head should be the last thing to come up here. And then inhale, taking those arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. And this time we'll exhale the arms out through the sides, pushing the hips all the way back and down as you exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. 1 more time coming up. Inhale, reach in as tall as you can while staying connected into your feet. Exhale, hands to heart center. And last time through, this time inhale, sweep the arms out nice and wide. Open your chest, lift your gaze, and exhale through the center. Inhale, halfway. And exhale, fold and surrender. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, let's bring the hands back to heart center. Take a moment here. Just notice if your breath has gotten away from you. Just come back to that breath. Come back to the present moment. Again, just letting go of everything else around you. Notice if your mind has become distracted again. Let those thoughts go. Let those feelings go. Just come back to right now. One more in-breath. One more out-breath. Let's come into the side body now. We'll inhale and bring arms all the way up. And this time I want you to bring your right arm down your side. Right? Gaze up at that lifted hand, maybe the palm, the center of the palm, as you try to reach the ceiling. And then as you exhale, reach that left arm over. Good. That left hip pushing out to the side. Stay strong and connected in both feet. Lift your gaze. One more breath. Inhale, bring that right arm up. And exhale, the left arm comes down. Good. Let your gaze come to the center of that palm as you gently reach that right arm up. And exhale, just feeling that left hand slide down the side of your thigh. Pushing the right hip out, lifting your gaze. 2 more breaths. And inhale, left arm up. And we're going to come all the way down here. So exhale, bend your knees and fold forward. Inhale to that halfway. And exhale, fold. Just stay here for a moment. You can rock gently side to side. That segment will conclude our standing postures. So if you have your blocks nearby, bring them towards the top of your mat. So now we're going to transition to a pose called Child's Pose. And this pose is meant to relax you. So we'll hang out here for about a minute, minute and a half, just so you can allow yourself to move into a deeper state of relaxation. And so you'll want your knees as wide as your mat. And as you come forward, allow your belly to relax. Extend your arms forward. And just continue to be there breathing. Let your belly soften. And just allow yourself to feel any tension you might be holding to just release out of the body and the mind. You're here to relax and to let go. As you breathe, give yourself permission to do those 2 things, to relax and let go. Good. Couple more seconds. Staying with the breath. Being attentive, being alert to the present moment. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And from here, slowly make your way into hands and knees. And so, spreading your fingers nice and wide, making sure your hands are under your shoulders. Gaze back and look at your knees and make sure your knees are under your hips. The crown of your head is shining forward and your tailbone is shining back. As you ground into your palms, feel a sense of connection. The space beneath you, your arms, your bones. We'll just bring some movement into the spine now. As you take that next in-breath, slowly let your tailbone roll up, and you'll feel your spine sinking in. Allow that movement to extend your chest and gaze forward. Good. You'll feel your shoulder blades coming together. Just take a couple breaths here in cow pose. As you take that next exhale, tuck the tailbone down and slowly begin to feel your belly pulling in, your spine lifting up to the ceiling, bringing the chin to chest, shoulder blades moving apart from each other. And breathe, that natural, spontaneous breath. Good. And let's do that again. Inhale, roll the tailbone up. Come into cow. And exhale, tuck into tailbone down and come into cat. Now do that for 3 more times. Remember to go easy, gentle, and slow. There's no rush here. Just notice the movements in your body as you breathe. Stay connected to the breath. And when you're done, come back to a neutral place on hands and knees. And if you have your blocks, bring them to your side. Okay. We're going to move into the hip flexor and hamstrings. And I have found for me, these are 2 parts of my body that tends to get really tight. So we're going to start with bringing the left foot forward. And you can walk your blocks a little further so they are side by that foot. Right? Look at your left knee and just make sure that it's anchored right over the ankle. Right? Depending on how tight you are in your hip flexor, you might be able to push that right hip gently forward. Right? So be very kind to yourself if you can't do that. Let your shoulders relax as you extend your gaze forward. Good. You should begin to feel a little sensation in that right hip flexor. Good. Couple more breaths. And from here, we're going to walk the blocks back. We're going to gently pull the hips back. We're going to roll into that left heel with the toes pointing up. Good. And you'll be able here to feel your hamstring. Again, see if you can maintain a nice long spine. So just stretching your back nice and long. Good. As we inhale again, we walk the blocks back to the front of the mat. Come back into that hip flexor stretch. And as we exhale, walk in those blocks back into that hamstring stretch. Roll into the heel. Good. And maybe your gaze is towards the shin. Good. Shoulders relaxed. And one more time, we'll come forward into that knee. Inhale, drawing your blocks forward. Yeah, this is the last time here on this side. Take a couple more breaths. And maybe you put a little smile on your face, right? So you're doing something so wonderful for your body, just moving and allowing energy to flow. And let's slowly inhale and pull the hips back. Walk those blocks just a little back as we bring this left foot back under the hips. And take the blocks away, put them off to the side, and we'll just shimmy the hips left to right a couple times. Or whatever feels good. Maybe it's a circle. Good. Just taking out any residual sensations. Good. And then come back to center, grab your blocks again. And this time we'll draw the right foot through. Bring those blocks forward. Good. And if you need to inch your right foot up, go ahead and do that so your knee is right over the ankle. As you inhale, just extend that left hip forward this time. Again, don't try to do too much too quickly. Just do what your body can do for today. Good. As you exhale, walk your blocks back. Pull the hips back and roll into that heel. Good. Keeping the spine nice and long as you breathe. You're fully supported. Not just in this practice, but also in your life. I want you to really connect with that support. Inhale once again, coming back to the front, into that knee, into that hip flexor. Breathe. Maybe in this second one, close your eyes and just allow yourself to be completely immersed from within. Now, oftentimes we spend so much of our awareness in the external, and the yoga practice helps us to come in, to see from that inner space. And last time, let's exhale, walk the blocks back, come into the hamstring one last time. Good. Again, maybe the gaze shifts towards the shin. And just feel that right hip pulling back. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And inhale back to the front. That's my knee popping. Yes, even yoga teachers have popping knees. Lengthening forward. Then exhale, shift the hips back. Bring that right knee under the hip. Take your blocks off to the side. And we're going to come back into that child's pose one more time. So open your knees nice and wide. And exhale, come all the way back. So now from that child's pose, we're going to come into butterfly pose. Right? So we'll just begin to bring the soles of the feet together. Right? So some of you might be able to bring the heels all the way in. If that's too difficult or it feels too much for you, just bring the heels out. Right? We'll interlace the fingers and place them under the feet. Right? As you inhale, lift and lengthen up through your spine. Just feel your shoulders releasing down. And just stay here for a moment. Connect with your breath. Connect with your body. If you're feeling any tension in your knees or in your hips, feel free to place a block under your knees for that additional support. Good. And from that long spine, take another deep in-breath. And as you exhale, bend your elbows and come forward. So I want you to just round your spine here. Let your chin drop, let your head relax. Again, the theme of our practice is just to move into that state of relaxation, to allow the body to simply unwind, let go of any stress, any cortisol, and take a couple more breaths here. Notice where you're feeling the sensation the most. And can you offer breath to that part of your body? Just with your intention, just breathe into that part a little bit deeper. 5, 4, 3, 2, and on that one, slowly start to come all the way up. Good, and just notice how that felt in your inner thighs and your hips. Let's bring the knees upright, and we're going to begin to transition down onto our backs as we prepare for Shavasana. So you can move the blocks out of the way. We'll begin with the knees bent, and have your bolster handy or a pillow. We're going to place that under the knees. And so we're going to use, again, talking about support, use our hands for support, right? Just another reminder of how much you're supported in this journey of life. So we're slowly, make sure you have enough room behind you as well. We're slowly going to come all the way back, right? Again, using those hands as you come down onto your back. Let the head be the last thing that reaches the ground. Good, and then extend the legs all the way out. And inhale the arms all the way up. And just take that big body stretch. Good, draw the navel down towards the spine. Spread your toes, spread your fingers. And just take a nice big yawn into your body. Good, and then exhale, relax, and let's bring the left knee into the chest. Just drawing it in. Releasing any residual sensations in that lower back. Good, exhale, release. And as you take your next out breath, the right knee comes in. Good. Ground in through that left side, elbows in. And exhale, relax. Good. And let's bend the knees. We'll take one more movement here before we settle into Shavasana. Take your feet out as wide as your mat. If you have the pillow, just move it aside. Arms out nice and wide. We're going to windshield those knees left to right. So let's begin with an inhale here in the center. And as you exhale, let those knees gently drop to the left. And just breathe. You might feel some sensation along the right side. Just allow that sensation. Just allow it to be. Take your next in-breath, knees center, and exhale to the right. Just breathe in here. Notice in the left side this time. And then we'll pick this speed up a little bit more. So inhale, center, and exhale back to the left. And you can do this a couple more times on your own breath. And again, we're just releasing any residual tension in the lower back. Just preparing the body to lay in a restful pose. And then let's bring the knees all the way back to center. Now let's gather that bolster or pillow. And I want you to just place it under your knees. Right? This will be our final rest in place for this practice. And once you have it there, go ahead and roll back onto your spine. Good. Just finding that comfortable place where your knees and your legs feel right at home. Right? And just lift your chest up a little bit and flatten your shoulder blades. And bring your arms out to the side. And palms are turned up. Close your eyes gently. Let's take 2 cleansing breaths to get us into that Shavasana. So first, let's exhale all the air out of the nostrils. And then take a nice deep in-breath, filling into the belly, into the ribs. And if you can, bring it up into the chest. And exhale through the mouth. Just letting go. Again, inhale into the belly, ribs, and chest. And exhale through the mouth. And feeling your whole body relaxing. The whole body relaxing. The whole body relaxing. And giving yourself at least 5 minutes here to really just bring everything that you've done into this place of restful peace. If you need more than 5 minutes, take that too. This is your time. But while you're here in Shavasana, just let it all go. And so come to a nice, easy seated position. We'll take this time to conclude the practice. So I want you to just lengthen up. If you have your bolster or block, feel free to sit in that or even your blanket. Yeah. And then find your spine and lengthen. Bring your hands to heart center. So I want you to imagine that you're nobility. And as you sit and you lengthen, you're coming into that noble posture. And gently close your eyes. And as we exhale and bow the head, we offer so much gratitude. And 20 minutes doesn't seem like a very long time, but what you've just given your body is 20 minutes of rest, 20 minutes of peace, 20 minutes of movement and to release. And so we offer that gratitude. And I'm so grateful that you decided to join me for this 20-minute yoga session. Feel free to do this video as many times as you desire. Maybe it's a daily practice. Maybe it's a every other day practice. Whatever you choose for yourself will be right. And today in this session, we focused on our hamstrings and our hip flexors, because those are the two areas that we tend to develop most tightness in. So be easy with yourself. Be kind. Be accepting. It's all part of this human process of being. Namaste.